All right, guys, talking Mets and Guardians, and that means you're talking Francisco Lindor. So, which side of that trade would you rather be on right now? If you remember, it was Lindor and Carlos Carrasco to the Mets in exchange for Andres Gimenez, Ahmad Rosario, and two guys you haven't thought about since, a pitcher named Josh Wolf and a hitter named Isaiah Green. I think he's an outfielder. He doesn't matter. He's not hitting, and Wolf isn't getting people out. Since then, Cookie has come back to Cleveland, and Rosario was traded a year ago. The deal right now stands as essentially Lindor for Gimenez. Who would you rather have? Lindor's batting 197 coming into this series here in Cleveland. Last year hit about 250. His first year with the Mets, he batted 230. He's not been a dynamic offensive player for them. They wanted to make a splash move. They had new ownership when they made that trade. Splash move, make headlines, all that stuff. And they made the big trade with Cleveland. They gave him the big contract. He hasn't performed. Now, the Indians got Gimenez. I can call them the Indians because they were the Indians when they got him. And at that point, Gimenez and Rosario were kind of right on the scene. And right now, it's essentially just Gimenez and the contract that they gave him 2 years ago, $100 million bucks. All right? Would you rather have Gimenez for $100 million or Lindor for $340? I kind of want Gimenez at $100. That could blow up in their face too, but I'd rather have $100 million blow up than $340. It's hard to always say, could they have done better? A lot of people wonder that with big trades like this. I think there's only one. I know how I evaluate these trades because you never definitively know, yeah, they could have got this guy from that team. You don't always definitely know that. So I always look at them this way. Did you get at least one guy? And I feel like with Gimenez, they did get at least one guy. Rosario was actually pretty good for him at times, and he was part of a playoff team a couple of years ago. And so that was a little something, but he wasn't supposed to be the needle mover in that deal, I don't think. It was supposed to be Gimenez. And he's had the really good year 2 years ago, the down year a year ago, and so far this year he's fine. Obviously he plays phenomenal defense, so does Lindor. But I would rather take the chance on Gimenez for $100 than Lindor, who, by the way, is now 30. He will play all this year at 30, but he's under contract through 2031. If he didn't start to turn it around in the next year or so and kind of get back to who we saw in Cleveland, that deal is going to be terrible. So that's just where I'm on it right now. I know a lot of people might see it differently. I know there's a lot of people, as soon as that deal happened, they were angry. It's a payroll thing. Payroll conversations never end with this club. But right now, I think it's hard for even the angry, Dolan-hating fan to say, yeah, that was a terrible move for the baseball club. It hasn't been a terrible move for them so far.